And try again.
Sorry, there was some kind of a glitch.
We had some sort of problem with our connection here.
So this is day 2 of counting the Omer with the reading of Shir HaShirim, the Song of Songs. Of all the songs, this one is the Holy of Holies. Ready? Say the prayer. Are we on? Hi. I think we should start. No?
I'm not going to see
I hope we're there. Somebody let us know we're okay.
with our connection here. Okay, here we go.
So this is day 2. I hope we're there.
Yeah,
Okay,
okay.
good. We got it.
So we had some problem with the connection. וערב נא אדוני אלוהינו את דברי תורתך בפינו ובפי עמך בית ישראל ונחיה אנחנו וצאצאינו וצאצאי עמך בית ישראל כולנו יודעי שמך ולומדי תורתך לשמה. ברוך אתה אדוני המלמד תורה לעמו ישראל. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Oh God,
Amen.
make the words of your teaching pleasant on our lips. The lips of all of those that come into our circles, so we can spend a time in learning for the pure pleasure of it. Blessed are you who teach us to your people in this fashion. To lead a better life, I need my love to be near. Here, making each day of the year, changing my life with a wave of her hand. Nobody can deny that there's something there. Running her hands through my hair. Each day I'll get a little bit better at that.
Because we are counting each day, and each day is a little bit different. Today is day 2. We're in the same sensibility, right? We're in Chesed still.
The week of Chesed, the first week, the energy is Chesed, pure giving, a love concept.
Unconditional.
Yesterday was Chesed within Chesed, the working of each sphera, each energy within the matrix, the context of the energy for the week. Yesterday was Chesed within Chesed, the way a double measure like Shir HaShirim maybe.
Shir HaShirim, right?
Today,
Holy of Holies.
Gevura, its complementary quality, Chesed, pure giving. Gevura is some sort of restraint, some borderliness. Borderliness, there's a good word. Some
Which,
borderliness.
is this whole period of, it's about freedom. We are counting our days to freedom, but what is the symbol of freedom is Torah. So the symbol of freedom are the laws. The symbol of freedom is really the ultimate freedom, is the instruction, the guide, the way of holding us together as we are living in freedom.
And you know,
Yeah.
Susie, when when we're talking about Chesed, pure giving, you can give away too much.
Too much. That's right.
So the complementary quality on this,
Gevura.
the second day, is Gevura, that sense of restraint.
Yeah,
Strength
which
within
you don't
love.
have in the Song of Songs, by the way. There is very little restraint here. Well, we'll talk about that after we count.
So let's make the counting, and then we'll go to the text a little bit, and then we'll make the prayer for healing, and then we'll close with the prayer of the hands.
Sounds good.
Counting. Today is day 2 of the Omer, from the second day of Passover to the 50th day, which is Shavuot. Zman, transformation, the time of our transformation. During the Omer period, we are preparing ourselves for the durable wisdom, for the wedding, the gift of a guidebook anyway. Today, I am a vessel, a working out of potencies, energies, elementals. In particular, I am a daily elemental within a week of shifting elementals. Work me, O holy God, you have my attention. Counting two, I see it clearer than I used to, the counting. It's a grow through experience, not a starting or a stopping. You taught me the imagery of changes, not linear, no beginning, culmination, etc., all circular with a hint of tilt. Upward, a spiral. Spiral is good for now. That may change too. I see it clearer now. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kishem b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat ha'omer. Blessed are you, eternal our God, who has asked us to count the Omer. Hayom Shnei Yamin LaOmer. Today is day 2 of the Omer. Pay attention to what happens during the days of the Sfirah, the counting.
Yeah.
Become aware that all you see and hear on each day is the activity of the Sfirah, and that it can align you to God's blessed will.
Whoops.
Oh, this is from Nachman, the breast lover.
Right.
Okay.
Beautiful. So yesterday we talked a little bit about, the sources that we're going to use. We spoke about the texts, the commentaries that we wanted to use, and we also spoke. We just got to the first line of Shir HaShirim, and in some of the commentaries they skip the first line because the first line is really it's not really part of the poem. And except that in the traditional ones, they make a big deal about the first one and about that first line, Shir HaShirim Asher L'Shlomo. Now, L'Shlomo is a hint here, right? We talked about that a little bit yesterday. It's not Shlomo here, King Solomon. It's L'Shlomo to Solomon, a poem for or to.
Or it
Solomon,
could be in honor of.
In honor of. Or it could be to peace, or it could be to both, the peacemaker. He was the one who was able to bring all the pieces together and have an undivided kingdom for a moment in time. So, we don't really know, but clearly it's an addition, that first line. So what is the first word of Shir HaShirim? Yishakeni, right? Yishakeni. Kiss. Kiss. Well, let me say, what though, in the traditional, so it's a very Shir HaShirim Asher L'Shlomo, Song of Songs Asher, that L'Shlomo, which whatever, L'Shlomo, to Shlomo,
these mighty prepositions
towards Shlomo, whatever. But look at how the art scroll interprets it, and it just shows you that every interpretation, every translation is an interpretation here, bringing their own experience, bringing their own agenda.
Sean is here. We wanted to make sure that Sean knew we were doing this.
So listen to how Art Scroll, just the song that excels all songs, dedicated to God, the King, to whom peace belongs. So not even any mention of, Solomon the king, Shlomo the king. The song that excels all songs, Shir HaShirim, that much we have. Dedicated to God, the king. The suggestion that Shlomo is the king, so God is the king, of course, of all, to whom peace belongs, which also is a wonderful notion. Remember, so in Song of Songs, we're going to get this notion of belonging. eventually. Anila Dodiva Dodili, right? Not I love my beloved. I am my beloveds. I belong to you. You belong to me. And that's something I want to say about when we start in this entrance. The thing that makes Song of Songs different for me, all the other songs, and this is from the Midrash Rabbah, all the other songs are either God to people or people to God. Whoever's speaking in this one, it's reciprocal. This is the shir, this is the poem, this is the song that is a reciprocal song.
It's a breathy conversation.
Mm. But and it's reciprocal. It goes both ways. Whether it's the lovers or at different stages in their lives, or the lover and God, it goes both ways. And there's inequality here. There's a egalitarian nature in this. There's no hierarchy, as there is, we said yesterday that nature becomes the mirror of the lovers. Okay, you want to read a little? Let's start.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna, use also, these different translations, right?
We mentioned also that was a beautiful concept that we have basically three texts in our tradition that are ascribed to Shlomo HaMelech, the King Solomon.
Yeah.
And our commentators identified each text with a different part of his life. So we have this one, Song of Songs. We have Proverbs associated with Solomon. And we have Ecclesiastes, Kohelet, vanity of vanities. It's all vanity. So there's a kind of a tarnished optimism in Kohelet, There's a darkness, a shadow side of Kohelet that many of the commentators attribute to the later arc of his life.
There's a time to be born and a time to die. So what's the point?
And in the Proverbs, of course, you have these guidelines, these little these aphorisms. And, there's a time for aphorisms. I'm not given to them myself, but there's a time in your life when you look for those kind of guidelines, right. And that's usually identified with the mid-phase of his life.
Right.
And this Song of Songs, by most accounts, is associated with his youth, of course, because it's so physical. And though there's not unanimity about that, and even in several different places, like Rashi even one time describes it to his youth, another time to his old age. It would be interesting if the Song of Songs was in the arc of his old age. Yeah.
An old woman.
Anyway, so I resonate with that concept. Different parts of his life have different vocabulary, so to speak, different way he parses the world. I noticed that.
That's so true.
I noticed that in my life. The arc of my life at this stage of life is the way I parse the world is so different from the previous stage and from the early stage, youthful stage, so different. So let's get into the text. So we do some text before we run out of steam today.
And the first word, the first part of this is the woman's voice, which also is kind of unusual. So do that because again, so it's those two words like Kadosh Kodashim, Shir HaShirim. We've got these kisses, make me drunk with your kisses is one translation.
Let him kiss me.
Make me drunk with your kisses.
It's like a Jessup. It's like it looks like a future, but it's like a gentle. It's not an imperative. It's a rolling off of the direct ask. Like let him kiss me. Minishikot piyu, the kisses of his mouth, kitovim dadecha, because this can be read in several ways. There's an alternative reading. These parts of your body is better than yain, than wine. Kisses sweeter than wine. Ooh ooh.
You're sweet loving.
Your
is
kiss
better
is
than
sweeter
wine.
than
So
wine.
there's something, again, intoxicating about this whole image. Um, in Marcia Falk brings in the notion of scent, your scent and sweet name um, for all this. And there is something that we're going to find at the end of verse 4, right? There's not just the two of them. There's all the others who love them, all the others who are watching, who are
Yeah, some of this is in full view of people.
mhm.
Just an
and
audience.
others who are longing for this love, others who are longing
Yeah.
for this intoxication.
So there's a very keen master of grammar, Spanish Jewish commentator Ibn Ezra. He reads this word, dodecha, dodim, translated usually as your love is, better than wine or whatever, sweeter than wine, better than wine. It can mean also that your caresses, it's idiom, or your Ibn Ezra by Ibn Ezra, your demonstrations of love, or even your parts, your aspects of love, let's say.
Mm-hmm. One of the things Marcia Fox says about trying to translate this is she says it's not just the translation of the ideas. It's remembering that this was spoken. This was a song. This wasn't meant to be read silently. This was meant to be sung. And so in her translation, and it because she's a poet, right? It has to be sung. So why don't you do that again for verse 1?
ישכן נשיקות פיהו, כי טובים דודיך מיין. ריח שמניך טובים, the smells of your oils, the fragrance of your oils, also beautiful, good, so good.
Shemen.
You're pouring oil. Your name like a pouring oil. Then there's a strange idiom here, alkane. Alkane later comes to mean like a therefore, which is so prosaic. We have to find another way to translate that here. So Alamot.
Jesus, for all this.
So all the girls love you.
That's the thing. So she's this is the woman's voice, and she's saying, you're she's telling him how his love, how his kiss is more enticing than wine, right?
Yeah. She says, let him kiss me because your moves are better than booze.
Yeah. Well, that's an interesting poetic.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Sam reminds us that it's the women of Morocco that created the argan oil. Yeah, I wonder what their inspiration was, Sam, for that. We'll have to look into that. So let's go to.
I was lost in your pouring eyes, your pouring oil. I love this image. Your pouring oil.
Beautiful. So maybe we'll just do verse 3. So that was verse 2. Verse 2, she's telling him just how his kisses are so intoxicating, and what comes with that kiss, the scent, the oil, and how it's also maybe intoxicating for her that others find him appealing. For all this they love you, Marcia Fox says.
Well, yeah, because you
all the women want you.
You're attractive.
Yeah. All the women want you. That's verse 3. So how about verse 4? And then maybe we'll.
I will draw me after you. I will run to you.
Mm.
The king brought me into his
Like a king to his rooms.
rooms.
My lover, the
Nagila
king,
v'nismacha.
has brought me into his chambers. So are we talking king? This is a big controversy. Are we talking king? Because, the king can take anybody, he can have anything he wants. Or is
he like a king?
Is he like a king to her?
Yeah.
And, there is that image that everyone is a king at their Shabbat or a queen at their Shabbat table, right? So that when you see someone for who they are, without the trappings of the world, they are royalty. Everyone is royalty. And that was the great invention, really, of the ancient Jewish world, that there wasn't going to be these kings anymore. God, only God.
Yeah. Then
so
we're going to rejoice. Oh, we're going to so rejoice in it. It'll be so happy there.
They say, take me by the hand, let us run together. My lover, my king, has brought me into his chambers, and
Nazkira dodecha.
We will laugh, you and I, and count each kiss better than wine. And then she repeats it.
So you dodecha.
Right? Every one of them.
Now this could also mean something else.
What's that?
Dodecha can mean your body parts.
Oh my gosh.
That's also better than wine. And
oh, that's interesting.
And the Mesharim are like, they're straight ahead, upright,
Right.
Or your love, I think Rashi translates it this way. Your love is like a straight ahead thing. It's dependable. It's straight ahead. It's upright. Misharim ahivucha.
And then
I think we ought to
that
take
verse
it
4
to here.
Again. She repeats, and so there's something about this notion. Every one of them wants you. There's something very bold in this woman's voice that is putting it in a larger context.
Now, some of our commentators break the text here after this and assume another song, so to speak, because
well, it is different. This this next part, right, that begins with many in verse 5, right? So let's save that one for tomorrow, because that's clearly the next poem.
All right, so let's.
So that was.
I'm going to try the song again.
2, 3, and 4, and we've been introduced to. We don't know her name yet, but the Shulamite woman, and she is bold, and she's tender, and she's not married.
To lead a better life.
Not a problem for her.
I need my love to be here, making each day of the year, changing my life with a wave of her hand. Nobody can deny that there's something there. Running my hand through her hair, both of us thinking how good it can be. Someone is speaking, but she doesn't know he's there. I want her everywhere. When she's beside me, I know I need never care. But to love her is to need her everywhere. Knowing that love is to share. Each one believing that love never dies. Watching her eyes days and the hoping I'm always there. We'll be there and everywhere, here, there, and everywhere.
The Irish girl talks about friendship. So as we read this wonderful song of songs, of all the songs together, I hope that we feel the connectedness. And as we count each day, let it take us a little bit closer to Sinai, to that place where everybody understands that the only way we're going to get this right is if we all live by the same rules of morality and moral courage, rules like this song teach us to sing to each other with no hierarchies. So, Mishagarach, a healing prayer.
For the nefesh, for the goof, for the healing of the spirit, the healing of the body, for those we know, for those we don't know.
Caught in the crossfire, all the children.
For those we know, for those we don't know. On my right, the angel Michael, on my left, the angel Gabriel. In front of me, the angel Uriel, Uriel, Uriel. Behind me, Raphael. Above my head, above my head, above my head, Shechinatel. Baruch atah Adonai Rofei HaCholim. Blessed are you, great healer. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen. Amen. Thanks for joining us this morning. Thanks for being with us. And we will be back at 9:30.
Should we close with the prayer of the hands?
It's late. It's after 10.
Oh, okay.
We said we wouldn't keep you for more than 30 minutes. So appreciate you coming. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow morning as we count the Omer along with Shir HaShirim, the Song of Songs.
Okay.
Have a great day. Have a great day.